All right, perfect. What's going on, YouTube? It's another, video for myself going over, my journey with my Forex funds, looking to actually go ahead and get one of those 100K, evaluation accounts. Today is an exciting day. It's Wednesday, so I started on Monday. It's been 3 days now, and I already passed phase one, right? And I actually want to show you guys some of the trades that I took, why I took them, some of the biggest losses too, because like I said, I wanted to go ahead and provide full transparency, because I know a lot of people, they don't show everything that happens, right? They only want to show you the highlights and never the low times. And I'm going to show you guys some of the things that I was thinking and how it went on Monday, Tuesday, and now this morning for Wednesday. But it's going to be exciting. So let's go ahead and actually share my screen and get into some of this information. So first and foremost, here is the account, right? This is where it currently stands right now. Current balance is 108,500 plus. I took a total of 20 trades, traded over 75 lots. And like I said, only 3 days has passed. As you can see, there was quite a dip off right in the beginning, right? On day one, I had my worst day on Monday. And it was very interesting, but it's not my first experience starting off an account, in a loss. And as you'll see through the trades, we'll walk through them. I quickly recovered and was very sharp to get back on track. So really quickly, we'll actually go through the trades. Like I said, you guys, I was going to document everything, right? I was going to document everything. So here goes the actual trading journal. Okay. It has less than 20 trades on here because I haven't added the last two. And then a few of them are counted as trades because I took partials. But I'm actually basing the trades off of the trades that I actually took, in there, how I took them originally. Right, so let's actually start from the beginning, right? My first two trades were actually very small wins, totaling about maybe $700, right? It was a reward. It wasn't a lot, right? They didn't even total together 1% return, so I just put 0%. They didn't really make a difference here, but on my other tracker, I tracked the actual dollar amount that was gained on the trade. So to show, how much it was actually was. So it was silver and gold. I was bullish starting off this week on silver and gold, and bearish starting off on US dollar. And if you look back at the week, I was absolutely right on both silver and gold. So I actually show some of that really quickly. All right, let's actually go ahead and take a look at that. Let's start with silver. I think I actually still have, no, I don't have it up anymore. Oh, I do still have it up. Okay, you can see where I was looking to actually take silver. Okay, so you can see where I was looking to take it. I had this area as well as this area. But my first buy was from this zone. While it was going up, I saw how it was not actually breaking structure and coming down. So I took a quick partial, not a partial, I took an early close, early manual close on silver and let that thing go. I wanted to take another trade from here, but I ultimately ended up missing it, focusing on gold. Now, while I was focused on gold, I'll show you guys where my entry was for the very first trade, right? The very first trade's entry was actually down here, okay? That was the first entry of my week, right? The first trade that I took this week was down here with the stop loss here, and the first TP was for here. Unfortunately, it went up, and then as it was coming back, I thought maybe they might swipe this low. So I closed out early, and then this is when things got hectic, right? So let's actually look at the next few trades. As you can see, the next three trades were a loss, right? Negative 1.5%, negative 3%, and negative 1%. Now that would total over 5% loss for the day, but thankfully, I had about a little bit over a little less than 1% from the 2 wins. So I actually lost because I was very confident in this setup. As you guys can see, this was the bottom of the week. It was the bottom of the week. And it still is. And it's gone up above 200, almost 270 pips from my original entry. But, starting off the week, I was very bent on, oh, wow, like I found the perfect setup to, finish this evaluation as soon as possible. But it didn't work out that way. Once I closed, I went for a sell with four standards, a small sell, because I was like, oh, let me go ahead and catch it past the low. And then I know sometimes gold can spike and give setups, but it was fine. It didn't work out. I lost 1.25%. That's fine. That's within my plan, especially since I already started off with a little bit of profit to spare. Ultimately my account was still just slight. It wasn't even down 1%, right? It was down like a 0.5% at that point. So that was perfectly fine. So now the next trade, I said, okay, cool. This sell didn't work. They're buying. Maybe it's time for them to buy now. Maybe my setup is valid. They're holding some type of structure. I go in with 10 standards. Now, this is the only mistake I truly made for the week. Right. My rule is if I'm starting off with these accounts, I shouldn't be dropping 10. I should be dropping 5 or less. Right. No 10 standards is something that I realize is just a little too much. Right. It only takes 50 pips to cancel out that account. Especially I trade the most volatile things, silver, gold, Bitcoin, Ethereum, right? US 30. I trade the most volatile instruments. So because of that, I don't have to risk as much. So because of that, I took a very quick 3% loss on that trade. And I knew I probably only had one more trade in me. So I attempted one more trade for sale, took my 1%. I said, that's it for my Monday. I went on about my life and had a fantastic, beautiful day, being down nearly 5% on the first day. But, I've been trading for 7 years. I know what I'm doing in the markets. Even when I'm losing, I'm be honest, I know what's up, right? I'm not really confused. I'm not frustrated. I see the game. Once again, even though I was down 5%, it wasn't because of the lack of my strategy. I actually, if I had more margin to continue trading, I would have probably ended the day in profit because I knew the market was going to ultimately go up. And once they confirmed that, I would have rode that wave. But because I used that 10 standard lot, it didn't give me the space to really place any more trades. That I felt would have been worth my time at the time. So, I went on about my day, couldn't take any more trades after that. Otherwise I'd be, very close to, getting canceled and having to restart the evaluation. So the next day, right after 5 p.m., I saw Bitcoin, saw a nice setup, went ahead and secured 1% off of that. It went up, pulled back. I think I probably could have continued to hold that trade. Can't remember for sure. Now, the next day I saw a setup on gold for sale, right? So we can go back to gold here. And what I saw was a sell from basically this point, right? Basically this point. So where this line is where I was selling, somewhere in here is where I was selling gold from. Now that first sell happened to be a very quick loss because it pushed down like a slight bit and then it pushed up and it hit these highs. Now, after it hit these highs, I knew what was going on. Okay. Actually, the sell wasn't from here. The sell was more like from like here or here from this move. But what I noticed is that the 61.8 Fibonacci was actually just above that point, and there was a slight imbalance that was tapped into. All right. So basically, boom, they hit the 61.8. As soon as they hit that and they return back below that previous high that they had here, I knew I said 1 high, 2 high, 3 highs, right? The third touch above a high, but they're not looking to close. That's a pretty good reversal pattern. At the least, I was going to aim for here. And at the most, I wanted it to pass the low, but I actually caught if I'm not mistaken, a perfect exit on this trade. I believe I caught either here or I caught here, one or the other, but I caught a really great exit on this trade. But basically caught, I'll show you guys this right here, right? So it says sell. The first one was a loss, -1%. The next one was plus 7%. Right. The next one was plus 7%. It was really like 6.5%, but I just put 7, but it's really 6.5. Yeah, 6.5, but they're rounding it up to 7 for whatever reason. So yeah, that trade brought it all the way back. It brought me back from the previous day plus 3% on the day. So the account balance is at about $103,000 after that gold sale. And I took partials twice and racked up a pretty penny on that gold trade. And, you know, it was pretty easy, to be honest. It was honestly the first trade of the day outside of the first loss, but the same sell setup, right? Same sell setup, just the first one got hit because I had a tight stop loss, right? I risked a 4 standard lot, if I'm not a 5 standard lot, and only came out with a 1% loss. It's pretty good. That's only 20, you know, only 20 pip, really honestly less than that, 20, like 19 pip stop loss. After that, I caught some pretty decent trades on Bitcoin, right? So actually go ahead and take a look at those. And I'll show you guys what happened with that, because once again, this is another trade where the first trade was a loss, but then following that, it was a win. So we're looking for, because of the Bitcoin ETF release, I was actually looking for, you know, a breakout on Bitcoin, which we did get, but we was looking for it from here with the stop loss about here, very small, pretty decent 1 to 3, 1 to 4 risk reward trade. Looking to get to the highs at least. All right. Now, what ultimately ended up happening is it pushed up, went into profit, but I never moved stop loss to break even because I knew that it was going to be a little bit volatile. And then out of nowhere, you know, it pushed down, rejected, and did this spike down. But once they spiked down and hit, you know, there was an institutional candle here on like the 1 hour, I knew that this market was only going to go up, right? Because what's very cool is that, you know, the market is still just making higher lows the whole time, right? The market was making higher lows the whole time. And since they hit that quickly, I know what happens fast won't last, right? So because of that, and the fact that it closed without really breaking any of these lows, I followed this candle. And once they closed here and then did that slight push pullback here, I entered off of this candle and held till about here. All right, could have got out the highs, but I was waiting to see what this pattern did. Now, ultimately, this pattern was perfect, and I could have just held the whole trade. But just in case, I actually went ahead and took profits here. And then today is the day where Bitcoin broke out, cleared all-time highs. And I want to show you guys how I actually caught this trade and what I used to take it. So I already knew that the market was consolidating, right? As you guys can see, we have a breakout and then we're just going right up and down, up and down, up and down. But there's this tool that I use called Swipecoin. Okay, now on Swipecoin, this product is actually built by an educator on a platform that I'm a partner of that I learned from. And you know, it basically calls out good opportunities for breakouts on Bitcoin and Ethereum. And it called a break and close above 64,220, right, confirms a buy, right? And as long as, you know, this setup is above the 50 line, right, which is this orange line, they called the buy and they break and close above this point, right? You're looking for a buy setup. So I put 5 standards, right, on Bitcoin at this point, which is really more like the equivalent of like a 0.50, depending on the broker that you're using. But basically, we went in there with 5 standards and, was able to come out with, I think TP hit at around 1,000. So we're about here, and came out to close out the day. So that closed me out for the last, uh, you know, 5,000 I needed to go ahead and close out the day with the 8%. It continued to go up. I wasn't greedy. I went ahead and let it hit TP. Closed out. I had 2 small Ethereum trades as well. Closed those out, so just a little bit above $8,000 profit. But this product right here gave me confidence, right? I typically don't like buying and selling from highs and lows, but this tool is really great for breakouts, and it just simplifies the trade for you to just identify what spot you're really looking to take that trade from. And as you guys can see, this was practically flawless, right? It closed above it. It gave a little retest candle. All you do is enter. My stop loss was, it's basically right here. My stop loss is about here. So that's over, where it is now. We're talking about over 1 to 4, almost 5 risk to reward. But really easy setup to take. And that's how I actually closed out, the phase 1 for the evaluation. Those were most of the major trades that I took. That really made a big difference. I want to go ahead and talk about it. Like, you still have to, so I'll show you guys this. You still have to trade at least a minimum of 5 days. So as you guys can see, it says profit actual passed, right? Passed 8,500 passed, because the profit target is 8,000. But total number of trading days has to be 5 before they give you access to the next evaluation, where you'll have to earn 5%. So the first evaluation, you have to earn 8%. The second evaluation, you have to earn 5. So that's going to be a piece of cake. And one of the reasons, I'm just going to give you guys a nugget. One of the reasons why I'm doing this on YouTube is that people do better with accountability, right? The fact that I'm posting this and sharing everything, the wins, the losses, win or fail, I'm going to be transparent about it. Right, it's going to make you think twice about some of the trades that you take. It's going to make you think twice about some of the risks, because everybody does better when they have accountability, right? When they have other people that they're looking to educate, or like, for example, a person may get their life together because they have a child now, and they know that somebody's watching, and that makes them, behave and act better than their usual self, right? So that's another reason why I'm doing this, because I know that I could clear out 20K a month easily on these accounts, 100K months every now and then, as long as I'm being held accountable to do so, right? I think that's just a psychological thing that really helps. But definitely want to bring a lot of value, but don't want to make these videos too long. But if you guys want more, sessions like this, you want more content like this, let me know what it is you want. Drop it in the comments. Definitely show some love, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram at tradesmart.z, right? If you're finding this video just straight off of YouTube. But yeah, family, my Forex funds evaluation phase 1 passed in 3 days. All right, major comeback. Okay, major comeback. And I'm excited for phase 2, and to go ahead and knock that out. We're probably going to start that next week. So I'll just update you guys probably like Friday of this week with just, some chart analysis to get some value. But with that being said, family, look, I appreciate everybody for tuning into this call. I'll see you guys in the next video. And don't forget to trade smart, family. Peace.